assiduously to resolve the industrial disputes with the Nigerian Labour Congress. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, visited the Labour House for further deliberations on how to resolve the ongoing industrial action. The Senior Special Assistant conveyed the Presidency's commitment to ensure mutual understanding on the demands of the Labour Congress to President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Ayuba Waba. Responding, Ayuba Waba says talks are on among the organized labor and that it was obvious that all parties involved are towing the path of dialogue.
Of workers were so touched with this very important subject matter, but be it as it may, all of us are committed to a process of dialogue and trying to put the issues into conclusion and proper perspective.
Osun State Governor-elect Adeboyega Oyetola has promised to run inclusive and participatory government. He stated this in his acceptance speech at the Government House in Osogbo, shortly after being declared winner of the governorship election by INEC. Kunle Adebayo has the report.
That was the mood after days of anxiety and apprehension, shortly after the chief returning officer, Professor Joseph Adeola Fuwakpe, announced Boyega Oyetola as the Osun State Governor-elect. The Governor-elect immediately gave his acceptance speech and called for all hands to be on deck to move Osun State forward. He expressed gratitude to President Muhammadu Buhari, the Vice President Yemi Osibajo, Governor Aregbesola, and APC family, and promised not to disappoint Osun people.
It is a new beginning for me. I'm committing myself the more to the good governance of Osun and the welfare of the people. I will run an inclusive and participatory government.
Among the earlier callers to congratulate Governor-elect at the Government House were SDP governorship candidate Senator Iyola Omisore Ekiti, Governor-elect Kayode Fayemi, Governor of Kano State Umar Abdullah Ganduje, and Governor of Jigawa, Minister of Information and Culture Alhaji Lai Mohammed, among others.
Victory for democracy, victory for the masses of Osun, victory for the entire populace of Osun.
We won because the people accepted us, they accepted our policies, and they voted for us to show their appreciation.
The governor-elect Boyega Oyetola was the former chief of staff to Governor Rauf Aregbesola before he was picked as the APC candidate after a direct primary in the party. From Osogbo, Kunle Adebayo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the APC and the governor-elect of Osun State, Adeboyega Isiaka Oyetola, for winning the keenly contested governorship election. The APC Campaign Council for the Osun governorship election has also expressed satisfaction with the outcome of Thursday's supplementary election in the state, affirming that the people have emphatically pitched their tent with the ruling party. Chairman of the Council's Media Committee, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, congratulated the governor-elect Adeboyega Oyetola, the outgoing governor Rauf Aregbesola, and the entire APC family for a victory so well-deserved. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has commended the police personnel and other security agencies involved in the election for high-level professionalism and unbiased conduct displayed during and after the election. Now, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says the Buhari-led administration will continue to provide Nigerians with adequate security and good leadership. The SGF was speaking at Gwadabawa Ward, where he participated in the APC presidential direct primary in Yola, Adamawa State. Mohammed Saidu reports.
Odobawa, which is the most populated ward in Yola North local government area, recorded highest turnout of APC card-carrying members to vote for President Buhari to fly the flag of the party come 2019 general elections. Addressing party members, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, urged them to continue to support the President in his efforts to improve the welfare and well-being of the citizens. He said the turnout is a demonstration to the acceptability of the present government, adding that President Buhari is the only candidate that will take this country out of its past predicaments. The SDF therefore appealed to all Nigerians to value what God has given the nation by re-electing the president for a second term.
All of you gathered here today have gathered in your multitude and in your numbers to nominate President Muhammadu Buhari as the flag bearer of the APC in 2019 general election. Have you nominated him?
Thousands of party members turned out to endorse the president through direct primaries. In Yola, Muhammad Saidu, NTA News.
The APC presidential primary election took place all over the country. Here now is a compilation of the exercise.
In Katsina State, Ado Ali reports that the election, which took place at Sarkin Yara ward of Daura local government area, saw a massive turnout of voters. Daura local government APC returning officer Sani Ali declared President Buhari winner with total votes of 1,105 from total registered votes of 1,163. From Jigawa State, Ibrahim Sani reports that the presidential primary election was conducted peacefully in all wards, covering the 27 local government areas with high level of enthusiasm. Meanwhile, members of the All Progressive Congress in Ogun State unanimously voted for President Muhammadu Buhari as the sole candidate in the 236 wards in the state. Governor Ibikunle Amosun, who monitored the primary in Obafemi Owode local government area, commended APC members for their peaceful conduct. In Nasarawa State, APC accredited members turned out in their numbers across 147 electoral wards. The 192 wards of Edo State recorded an unprecedented turnout of APC members for the presidential primary. Ogochukwuka Ona reports that the party members unanimously affirmed the candidature of President Muhammadu Buhari as their standard bearer in next year's presidential election.
In the meantime, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, says the party's victory at the Osun governorship election is an indication that Nigerians have faith in the development agenda of the APC-led administration at all levels. Under his leadership, Comrade Adams Oshomole pledged to work hard to win votes and not to rig elections. The national chairman of APC at a post-Osun governorship election media briefing commended electorates in Osun State and supporters of APC and assured that the party will continue to work with progressives to sustain good governance through purposeful leadership.
In Osun election, nobody can talk of landslide victory. If anyone had access to manipulate those figures, you will not rig election and rig it half-heartedly to a point of not leading to inconclusive election. But let me also say that for the fair-minded analysts, both the APC and the PDP recognizes that we needed to do business with the other minority parties that participated in the election. And it wasn't difficult to understand who you needed to deal with if you are going to be able to influence the outcome of the rerun, not rerun in those areas that were cancelled. It was clear that the SDP was largely in control of those areas. Like any other part in the world, if you want to do a coalition, you identify the leaders who have influence in those areas and enter into negotiation. I believe why PDP were shouting in the afternoon or in the morning that they were going to challenge the INEC decision to conduct a rerun. Their leader Senator Bukola Saraki, along with several other PDP officials, went to Ife to persuade the leader of the SDP, who was the candidate in the election, Senator Omisore, to negotiate a possible working arrangement. This is not a secret I'm revealing. After that conversation, Senator Saraki told the world that he was much more confident of winning the election after the understanding he believed he has reached with Senator Omisore and leaders of the SDP.
He equally gave reasons why two members of the National Executive Council who are governorship aspirants in Taraba and Oyo State were disqualified. The All Progressives Congress APC has released the full list of candidates screened for governorship election across the country in the 2019 elections. A press statement by the acting National Publicity Secretary of the party states that while most of them were cleared, some, including the Minister of Communication Adebayo Shitu and the Minister of Women Affairs Aisha Al-Hassan, were not. Now, Minister of Federal Capital Territory Malam Muhammad Musa Bello has said that there are no anointed persons amongst the aspirants seeking the party's tickets for various elected positions in the forthcoming 2019 general elections. He was speaking when he addressed party elders, executives and aspirants in Abuja. He urged the aspirants to allow for a free and fair election and support whoever emerges the winner. The FCT's APC State Chairman Abdul Malik Usman says the party opted for indirect primaries for the determination of those who will fly its flag in the 2019 elections. A total of 9 aspirants are running for the FCT senatorial seat. 13 are for the House of Representatives, while 13 others are for the 6 area councils. Nigeria has expressed concern over the slow pace of progress in accomplishing total elimination of nuclear arsenals by harboring nation-state. President Muhammadu Buhari, who stated this in New York, reminds the world of its shared responsibility in the pursuit of peace, justice, and prosperity for all of humanity. This was at an event commemorating and promoting the International Day for the Total Elimination of Nuclear Weapons, held under the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly.
Nigeria not only participated actively in the adoption of the 2017 landmark treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons, but is one of the first countries to sign it. President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by the National Security Advisor Babagana Munguno, takes pride in his country's principled position on denuclearization of the world, saying, however, that it is worrisome that the level of implementation of the treaty is too slow. He warned the global community that the continued existence of nuclear weapons remains an existential threat to all of humanity because of the catastrophic humanitarian consequences that could result from either a deliberate use or unintentional explosion of nuclear weapons. The president noted with delight that a collective adoption by Africa, the Pelindaba Treaty renouncing the acquisition of nuclear weapons for military purposes, as well as declaring the continent a nuclear weapons-free zone. He commended the International Atomic Agency for its role in monitoring and inspecting nuclear facilities and urged states to ensure compliance with safeguards and standards at all times. The National Security Advisor, Babagana Munguno, also held a bilateral meeting with the United Nations Under-Secretary General and Executive Director, Counterterrorism, Vladimir Vorokov. He said Nigeria will continue to work with the United Nations in its bid to rid the world of the dreadful phenomenon of terrorism. From New York, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
A dusk to dawn curfew has been imposed on Jos North and Jos South local government areas of Plateau State. This is contained in a statement issued in Jos by Acting Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Richard Tokma, who urged citizens to remain calm as law enforcement agencies are taking steps to safeguard lives and property of the populace. Earlier, The Plateau State commander of the Nigeria Police had, in a statement issued by State Public Relations Officer DSP Matthias Tiopev, confirmed an attack by yet-to-be-identified gunmen at Rukuba Road, Jos, on Thursday night, in which some people sustained injuries while others lost their lives. You're watching 88 Network News. Time to go for some messages. Do stay with us.
Hello, Niger.
It's a beautiful day.
And now it's time for some amazing music.
Don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back.
Where is it?
What are you searching for?
With Glow Yakata, for every recharge, they'll give you 22 times the amount to call all the networks.
What? So if I load 100 Naira, they will give me 2,200 Naira?
Exactly! And that's not all. They are also giving up to 6 gigabytes of data every month for 6 whole months.
Wow! That's incredible!
Yes!
Are you sure? 22 times on every recharge?
Yup.
Found it! Found it!
This is it.
Glow Yakata. Get up to 6 gigabytes data every month for 6 months and 2,200 Naira bonus for every 100 Naira recharge for all networks where talkers and browsers live. The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
Have you seen the Zamfara you never knew, away from the devastation of insurgents and criminals? From the 700 kilometers of road in 7 years, linking state, township, and federal roads, to education, where 100 schools were either renovated or reconstructed. In healthcare, the Yerima Bakura Specialist Hospital, now upgraded to a 350-room hospital with world-class equipment, plus several primary healthcare centers upgraded to hospitals. In agriculture, farmers enjoy an 80% subsidy on fertilizer since 2011, and 100 communities are now linked to the national grid. 98 solar-powered semi-urban water projects provided, and traditional institutions also recognized. Dr. Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, leaving a legacy of service. This message is powered by Thunderbird.
So Clean, the detergent brand trusted by millions of Nigerians. For decades, its 30% concentrated formula has been trusted to wash faster, brighter, cleaner. So Clean with stain magnet technology. The advanced enzyme formula pulls trapped dirt out of fiber like a magnet. So Clean with stain magnet technology for even better stain removal.
You in the air-conditioned office with the itchy throat. Strepsils. Girl in the spotlight with the raspy throat. Strepsils. You in the pollution. Yes, you. Dry throat. Strepsils. Hello in the downpour with the scratchy throat. Take Strepsils. Strepsils, with its soothing medicinal ingredients, will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors. Strepsils. Strepsils. Strepsils, for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Happy birthday, that is all I can say.
Hooray! It's here again. NTA Abeokuta Zodiac Children's Party, September 2018 edition. It's going to be fun all through, as this September edition will be graced by Her Excellency Chief Mrs. Yetunde Ononuga, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State. Children, what are you waiting for? Come, enjoy yourself to the fullest as we party with September children and their friends. Party date, Saturday 29th September 2018. Venue, NTA Abeokuta Ogbe premises. Time, 12 noon. Gate fee, 500 naira. 500 naira only. Candy flocks and face painting are available. You are guaranteed unlimited fun, games, and lots of gifts to take home. Be there.
Thank you for staying with us. The Nigerian Air Force has set up a board of inquiry to find out the cause of the crash of two of its F-7N1 aircraft in Abuja. Chief of Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar made this known while receiving a delegation of the President, led by the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, at the military hospital where the injured are receiving treatment. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, accompanied by Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, was conducted around the hospital wards and assured the two survivors of the Air Force jets of the federal government's support for their quick recovery. Chief of Air Staff Sadiq Abubakar says the officers were looking forward to participating in the 58th Independence Ceremony coming up on October 1st. And rehearsing for the event before the accident occurred.
Everybody was full of enthusiasm and so excited to be part of the celebration. But unfortunately, we had this incident this afternoon. We have set up a board of inquiry to clearly understand what really happened. This was supposed to be the last rehearsal before the actual flying on the 1st of October. It's very unfortunate that we lost one of them. But we are also consoled by the fact that we have two of the pilots here who are in a very stable condition. They have been visited by the Chief of Staff, and I have also visited them. And, well, like I said, this is something that has to do with the profession of flying combat aircraft. And sometimes you can't avoid these things from happening. Thank you.
The only victim that lost his life in the crash was Squadron Leader Bello Baba Ari, and has been laid to rest. Among dignitaries that witnessed the burial include Chief of Staff Abba Kyari and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa.
President Muhammadu Buhari says ordinary Nigerians will continue to remain uppermost in his mind as the governing APC sustains efforts at implementing the change agenda for a greater and prosperous Nigeria. Addressing a select group of Nigerian professionals across the United States in New York, the president once again berated the nation's elites for their actions or inactions in stagnating the growth and development of the country under previous administrations. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
But what happened to Nigerian elite? You allowed the country to be mismanaged for 16 years without saying a word?
And when the governing APC began the dismantling of obstacles to national development as part of the genuine execution of the Change Nigeria project, President Buhari said many, either by ignorance, pretense, or deliberate, got perturbed.
I was even called Baba Go Slow. No, those who are going fast, why did they go to?
Taking pride in the accomplishments of his administration so far, the president said apart from the provision of critical infrastructure, the fight against corruption, insecurity, as well as the enhancement of the nation's economic well-being are also on course. He said the federal government will continue to explore and exploit the abundant human and material resources of the country to make life better for all.
I am always conscious of ordinary Nigerians, the majority of Nigerians. That's my constituency. Not any particular state or ethnicity.
President Buhari, who made a case for the Nigerian professionals in the diaspora to invest more in the nation's education sector, once again assured the international community that the 2019 elections will be free, fair, and credible.
That's why I want INEC. I want the law enforcement agencies. Let Nigerians vote whoever they want across ethnicity and religion. That is their right.
Various speakers at the interactive session, some of them most outstanding and celebrated in their fields of endeavors, commended President Buhari for his selfless service to Nigeria and promised to integrate their expertise and resources into the domestic growth mechanisms.
He has only been there for how many years? Just for 3.5 years. What they have done, despite of the amount that they have, surpassed what the previous government have done in the last 16 years. Can you imagine if people of like mind ruled Nigeria for 16 years, we would have gone far better than the way Nigeria is.
I'd like to recommend that everybody support President Buhari. I think he's done a good job.
I think what he's doing, it seems to be working because you have to cut the corruption in Nigeria if we are to survive. And I think it's always very encouraging to have leaders like him.
I intend to contribute by bringing medical care, which is our profession, to our underserved communities, trying to make linkages between what we know here in the United States, the resources that we have, and our communities back at home.
During the event, coordinated by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Diaspora Matters, Abike Dabri Erewa, various gift items and awards were presented to the Nigerian leader. From New York, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In another development, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed delight that the reported attacks against Nigerian traders in Ghana are decisively taken care of. This was while receiving his Ghanaian counterpart, Nana Akufo-Addo, on the sidelines of the United Nations Assembly in New York. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Yes, sir. President, how are you?
Oh, I'm all right. President Nana Akufo-Addo, who came to brief the Nigerian leader on the situation, emphasized that there was no intention whatsoever to deliberately target Nigerians. Everything he said was all about complying with the rules guiding trading in the country, saying people needed to regularize their positions. President Akufo-Addo explained that Ghana's Minister of Trade and Industry had already issued a statement on the matter. President Buhari said Nigeria and Ghana have a relationship that dates back in time and urged the citizens of both countries to work in harmony, pursue legitimate businesses at all times, and ensure that the laws are complied with. The Nigerian leader also granted audience to his South African counterpart, Cyril Ramaphosa, and also engaged Nigeria's Tony Iwobi, the first black man ever to be elected senator in Italy. Issues like illegal migration and how it can be curbed through investments in Africa dominated their discussions. President Buhari, as ECOWAS chairman, was also brought up to speed with developments in Guinea-Bissau, Togo, and Mali by the president of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Brown. He commended the work being done by the commission, saying it is better to talk and resolve issues rather than be confrontational. As he puts it, if you represent a people, you won't like to see them suffering. The president approved that Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyama joined the commission's delegation on a special mission to deepen the peace process in Mali. From New York, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The Bureau of Public Service Reforms is pushing for a reform to break the limitations contained in the Public Service Rule that is hampering the full implementation of the Freedom of Information Act passed 7 years ago. Acting Director General of the Bureau, Ibrahim Arabi, confirmed this to the Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Expression and Access to Information in Africa, Lawrence Mute, as he undertook an advocacy visit to Nigeria. Justin Bem-Onyi reports.
The purpose of the visit was to build capacities and increase awareness in Nigeria on Article 9 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, also known as the African Charter, which establishes the right of freedom of expression and access to information. The Special Rapporteur, alongside representatives working in the field to ensure access to information and elections, had interacted with state and non-state actors so as to support full implementation of the Freedom of Information Act 2011. While at the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, the team sought to know how well used and respected is this act in Nigeria and the need for reforms, especially as it affects the civil service, commending the Bureau for lofty efforts so far made in the drive to ensure proactive disclosure of information.
I just wish to confirm how recently the actual substantive work of reform, focusing specifically around incorporating the elements of F or I in the rules themselves.
In line with the Bureau's mandate to initiate, coordinate, monitor, and ensure full implementation of government reform policies and programs, Acting Director General of the agency confirmed that activities now centered around capacity building to ensure full understanding and implementation of the Freedom of Information Act. Among other reform initiatives within the Nigerian Federal Public Service, the acting DG said efforts are on course to review the Act to address the challenge of unwillingness by public officials to engender paradigm shift to information disclosure and ICT due to limitations contained in the Public Service Rule.
We are pushing for e-government. E-government has not been captured so far in the Public Service Rule. This Public Service Rule must be revised and it must capture this. And I'm assuring you that something is being done around that.
The delegation from the African Commission on Human and People's Rights was also given some publications on reform initiatives and achievements by the Bureau. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Public Service Institute of Nigeria says it has rated the year high in the development of public servants for effective and efficient service delivery in line with best global practice. Administrator of the Institute, Dr. Abdul Ganiyu Obatoyimbo, stated this when he paid a visit on the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dr. Mohammed Umar. Olayinka Ojo tells us more.
The Public Service Institute of Nigeria, being the brain trust of more than 1.6 million public servants in Nigeria, is anchored on integrity, which is transformational. This is one of the cardinal objectives of the Buhari-led administration. The major request is to ensure that staff of the Ministry of Interior and services under the ministry saddled with the responsibility of internal security participate in training programs of the institute.
Moving from one agency to another to remind us about the institute and to tell you that the institute is reformed for better service delivery.
Assuring the Institute of patronage, even though the services under the ministry have their training institutions, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior says they will meet with the services to develop modules that will enhance efficient service delivery.
I will give you all what it takes to ensure that the Institute we collaborate in all ramifications and what it requires in training.
The consensus at the end of the meeting is that, if patronized, the Institute will help save foreign exchange as public servants will be trained in the country. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria's diversity is not just a source of her strength, but ordained by God, and how efficiently Nigerians would manage their differences will go a long way to give the country the desired growth and national cohesion. This was in a message to the 58th Jumat lecture to mark the nation's independence celebration in Abuja. Ahmed Ondas Ahmed reports.
The president, who was represented by the FCT minister Mohammed Musa Bello, noted that leaders must have genuine intentions to change the living standard of the populace, which the present administration is focused on since its inception over 3 years ago.
Genuine dialogue based on mutual respect, appreciation of the fact that our diversity is a source of strength, and also to work on how our forefathers have done it.
In a lecture titled Harnessing Our Diversity for National Development, delivered by Professor Awolu Yadudu, dwelt on restructuring under Islamic perspective, where he proffered constant dialogue by all regions, peoples of Nigeria.
Our leaders
in the past were able to manage these diversities in a manner that was civil, that was accommodative, and that recognized that there was strength in our diversity rather than weakness.
The chairman of the lecture and Sultan of Sokoto Saad Abakar III challenged Nigerians to conduct themselves peacefully before, during and after the 2019 general elections in order to have a free, fair and credible polls that will usher in good leaders and take Nigeria to greater height. The Jumat lecture was clamored by 2 rakat prayers led by the Mochid of National Mosque, Professor Shehu Galadechi, with top government officials, diplomats, military and paramilitary officials in attendance. Ahmed Ondas Ahmed, NTA News.
Time now to join Jennifer Igwe in our Lagos Network studio for stories trending in that zone. Hello, Jennifer.
Minister of Transportation has urged contractors handling the Lagos-Ibadan railway project to deploy more workers and equipment in order to meet the December deadline for the completion of the project. The minister, who was on his monthly inspection tour, expressed concern that the project might not be ready before the first quarter of 2019.
As at the last inspection in August, no beams stood on these pillars, but now 2 of the 7 bridges that will carry the train between Abeokuta and Ibadan have beams launched on them. At the shores of the Ogun River, more pillars have been constructed across, but the contractors have been facing a challenge: the slopy terrain of the muddy roads, which has delayed the launching of beams. Concerned about this development, the minister posted questions which the contractors had no answers to. He thereafter called for a meeting with the contractor on how to procure more equipment.
December, the civil works should be ready. That shouldn't be the problem. The problem will be the launching of beams to cross and laying of tracks, because you can't lay tracks unless you cross the beams. It's not a situation where they have about 3 or 4 or 5 places that can lay tracks. There you can say, okay, lay from Ibadan, lay from Abeokuta, lay from Papalanto. We have just 2.
The minister expressed concern over the slow pace of work on the train stations and absence of Nigerian civil engineers on site as part of efforts to promote local content. He directed that 6 Nigerian engineers must be employed.
Not in terms of structural or mechanical or electrical, more of the fact that they've not been able to bring the design for the team to approve. That we've given them 2 weeks to turn in all the design of all the stations. Hopefully, I hope they will start all at the same time to build. Some of the stations will take more than 1 to 2 months to complete.
Originally designed to be a 3-year project, the Lagos-Ibadan rail line had a May 2020 deadline, which was reversed to December 2018 by the minister, saying Nigerians were yearning for a more effective transport system. In Lagos, Ademola Adeoye, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Stay tuned.
Helen! You do great value shopping. Absolutely. I'm a champion at getting value.
Then you must have bought the Harpic 200 ml.
Why Harpic when I have this?
Even after applying them 10 times, they won't give a sparkling clean toilet.
Impossible.
Challenge. Detergent and bleach can't give a sparkling clean toilet even after 10 times. But Harpic 200 ml gives a sparkling clean toilet at one go.
Wow!
Harpic 200 ml. Real deal. Now only 200 naira.
Sore throats, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. Feels like they're having a party. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in 1 lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
To the outer framers, the hat tippers, the fringe goers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone. It cleans and helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes caused by oil, dirt and germs, giving your skin a healthy feel for an even better you. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Dettol soap is now also available for 100 naira only.
Darling, what's the matter? It's your birthday. Guests are already waiting at the pool.
It's headache, cold, pains all over my body.
Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet contains powerful ingredients specially prepared to bring you fast relief from headache, body ache, cough, flu, cold, and fever.
Baby, how are you feeling now?
Wow, I feel great thanks to Cold Time Tablet.
Cold Time Tablet also available in syrup for children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, a quality product from Embassy Pharmaceutical and Chemicals Limited. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, your visa to healthy living.
Fake news which is shared for malicious purposes is a danger to our peace and security in Nigeria. Misinformation as fake news is a serious threat to our hard-earned democracy and promotes hatred and misunderstanding between our communities. We are all responsible for stopping the spread of fake news in its tracks. So, always check the source and credibility of any news item. Say no to fake news. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
The World Bank is investing more than $700,000 in the Nigerian mining sector as the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development commences the process of establishing automated cadastral offices in the 6 geopolitical zones. Minister of State, Mines and Steel Development, Abubakar Bawa Buhari, stated this in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
Various solid mineral deposits in Nigeria were not properly marketed to the contemporary day technology-driven global market, so not much was known. This informed the decision of the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development in 2017 to launch a web portal where interested investors around the globe, with the press of a button, can access the business opportunities therein, accompanied by constant international business engagements by the drivers of the sector, and of course the clear-cut roadmap as a guide. Less than a year, this portal is experiencing high traffic, and many have succeeded in seeing the world in the Nigerian land have started trooping into the only cadastral office to get their licenses for operation. To meet up the licensing needs of the investors, not necessarily coming to the cadastral office in Abuja, however, the World Bank and the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development have committed $730,000 to set up 6 automated zonal cadastral offices, and the documents to this effect have been dotted.
With this upgrade, you can sit anywhere in the comfort of your living room, in your comfort of your office, apply for a license and get your license.
That Nigeria is an attractive destination for foreign investment as well, and so we're working with the government to have a sort of proof of concept that big investors, mining companies can come to Nigeria and they can do well.
We want them to also support us with the Solid Mineral Development Fund, so we are soliciting their support too in the area of exploration, for tin, its production, and if possible address the whole value chain of things.
The solid mineral sector, the minister fondly said, is becoming the newest bride in the business world, and the federal government promised to sustain this standard. Mia Ogidi, NT News.
Now, Salam Matu has the next lines of reports from our Sokoto Network Center.
Thank you, Kene, and a warm welcome to Sokoto. The All Progressive Congress presidential primaries in Sokoto State was held peacefully. Aminu Bello Kauji has the details.
The primaries was conducted through direct process as agreed by the national leadership of the APC. Some of the polling unit visited shows impressive turnout of party members, both men and women, demonstrating their popular support for the APC presidential candidate in the 2019 election, President Muhammadu Buhari. NTA News camera captured Senator Aliyu Magatakarda Wamoko at Gidan Jaoje polling unit in Wamoko local government, affirming his choice of President Muhammadu Buhari to recontest the election. Responding to questions, Senator Wamoko said APC chose to conduct direct presidential primaries to offer opportunity for all members of the party to decide who contests the presidency under the party. Turning to the just concluded Osun State rerun governorship election, Senator Aliyu Wamoko said he is not surprised by the outcome, describing it as a clear demonstration of the people's popular choice and the greatness of APC in Nigeria.
Well, my prayer wish for this country is to elect leaders that have fear of God in their minds, that really have the sympathy of the Nigerians at the back of their mind, first and foremost. Nigerians who are really coming to serve the nation, not serve themselves.
The APC presidential primaries held nationwide today was conducted throughout the 3,035 polling units in Sokoto State. In Sokoto, Amini Beleka Oji, NTA News.
The APC presidential primaries in Kebbi State was conducted peacefully, with party members expressing optimism that Nigerians will continue to support President Muhammadu Buhari towards victory in the 2019 general elections. Usman Abdullah Shehu reports.
The members of All Progressive Congress in Kebbi State joined their counterparts nationwide to conduct presidential primary election across the 21 local government areas of the state. In Birnin Kebbi, the Kebbi State capital, the election started a bit late, but there was large turnout of people who come out to confirm the endorsement of President Muhammadu Buhari as the sole presidential candidate of the APC. Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, who participated in the direct primary election at Nasarawa 2 ward, commended the supporters of the APC, describing the party in the state as one big happy family. Governor Bagudu expressed optimism that President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC will emerge victorious come 2019 general elections to continue with the relentless effort of moving the country forward.
I call on all members, all people of Kebbi State to once more be ready to cast their votes for President Muhammadu Buhari.
Some members of the party lauded the support witnessed, pointed out that it is a clear testimony that Mr. President and the party are on the right track. In some of the local government visited in the state, there was large turnout of APC members, and the exercise was conducted peacefully. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. For more presidential primaries, let's join Fatih in our Maiduguri studios for more. Hello.
Good to see you, Salamatu. You're welcome to Maiduguri. Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima was among thousands of APC supporters who participated in the presidential primary election held in the state. The monitoring of the presidential primaries done in an orderly manner and peaceful atmosphere took other APC stakeholders to various wards within Maiduguri metropolis, internally displaced persons camps, and Bama local government area. Jesse Tefida has more on the report.
The governor, alongside Borno State APC executives and other stakeholders, have, after casting their vote, monitored the conduct of the presidential primaries in other wards of the metropolis as directed by the All Progressive Congress National Working Committee.
I'm overwhelmed by the outpouring of support for our president. This is democracy in action.
APC stakeholders who spoke to NTA News described the exercise as one of its kind in recent years. National stakeholder of All Progressive Congress and former governor of Borno State, Senator Alimadu Sharif, has described the turnout of IDPs for the APC presidential primary election as an indication of overall victory for President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019 general elections.
I think if today there's going to be election in Bama local government, out of the 178 registered voters, plus or minus President Muhammadu Buhari will get 150,000.
He told the people that President Buhari is the only presidential aspirant that can salvage Nigeria and therefore advised them to ensure his victory at the general elections. In Maiduguri, Jesse Tafida, NTA News.
In the meantime, ahead of the governorship primary election in Borno State, 14 of the 21 governorship aspirants have insisted on the adoption of indirect primaries. A statement signed by the 14 governorship aspirants read to journalists by one of them, Ambassador Baba Ahmed Jidda, says the aspirants' decision to insist on indirect primaries is in line with the position of the state executive of the APC. Abubakar Mohamed Musa reports.
The position of the Borno State All Progressives Congress, according to the aspirants, is in accordance with the provision of the party's constitution and final decision of the party's National Working Committee.
It was therefore unanimously resolved at the meeting that the party would adopt the indirect method of primary elections.
Ambassador Baba Mejida said the position of the APC is in tandem with the decision of the National Working Committee and the party's constitution, and they cannot therefore under any circumstance violate the decision of the party's National Working Committee nor run contrary to the provisions of the party's constitution. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Mohammed Musa, NTA News.
That report wraps up our contribution from Maiduguri. More news with Kene in Abuja after this time out.
Ever since he could hold the bat, Charles wanted to play like his big brother. Victor had skills that matched the best in the land. Never mind, little brother, drink your Dano milk and keep practicing. So that is what he did. And step by step, glass by glass, the boy grew in spirit and strength. Drink your Dano milk and be strong.
Also available in Dano Cool Cow, Dano Slim, and Dano Flavored Milk. Choose Dano, choose goodness.
Helen! Your kitchen gets 10 out of 10. Thank you. This also gets a 10. Should we see the toilet now? Sure. This gets just 1.
It is clean.
But not perfect 10.
Better than my detergent and bleach? Impossible.
Challenge? Try the new Apic 10X. Compared to bleach and detergent, Apic sticker formulation removes yellow stains times better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow.
Now you also take that
Apic 10X challenge.
Also available in 200 ml pack.
Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three,
you are welcome, sir.
As usual, yeah? I was
You take that one. You take that one. You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have? You don't have?
Join the rice revolution today.
no other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
How they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Welcome back. Sports now. Enthusiasts hail the Tigresses as golfers prepare for Nigeria at 58 tournament in Abuja. And details on our sports update. Encomiums trail Nigeria's D Tigresses despite crashing out of the 2018 FIBA Women's